Good morning, dear students. This is Dr.Radhika, your course teacher. In this section, I'm going to explain about the components of tourism. As you know, tourism is an amalgamation of different industries. In order to develop tourism in a particular area, you need to develop the transportation facility, you should arrange the accommodation facility, and you should also arrange the shopping and other amenities at the destination. And all these are very much important for the development of tourism in a particular region. So let's have a look at the different components of tourism. The major components of tourism can be termed as 6 A's of tourism, and the 6 A's include the attraction, accommodation, accessibility, amenities, activities, and agencies. So these are the 6 A's of tourism. And when we consider the first element, that is the first A is attraction. Attractions are the main element in tourism industry. As you know, the attractions acting as a pulling factor which actually attracts that tourist to that particular destination. And these attractions can be generally divided into two, like natural and man-made attractions. Natural attractions are the naturally available attractions like the waterfalls, the hill stations, the beaches, our wildlife, backwaters, forest, etc. So these are the natural attractions. Man-made attractions are built by human, and it include the water theme parks, shopping malls, cinema theaters, monuments like Agra Fort, Hawa Mahal, Taj Mahal, the temples, churches, mosque, museums, etc. So these are the man-made attractions. So under the first element attractions, there are two, like natural attractions and man-made attraction. Then the second component of tourism is the accessibility. Accessibility means the modes of transportation facility. So for a destination has to be accessible for a tourist, and for that we need a different transportation facility. And when we consider definition of tourism, it is actually the movement of people from one place to another. So as tourism involves movement of people, it needs the transportation facilities. And the major modes of transportations include the land transportation, which includes road and rail, the water transportation, and the air transportation facility. So in order to develop tourism in a particular area, we need to arrange proper transportation or accessibility. The third component of tourism is accommodation. The definition clearly indicates the importance of accommodation, like tourism is the movement of people from one place to another for not less than 24 hours and not more than 1 year. So this travel needs some kind of accommodation facility to stay. This accommodations is one of the vital element in tourism industry, and it can be broadly classified into two, like primary accommodation units and secondary or supplementary accommodation. Primary accommodation means these provide accommodation facilities and all other facilities which make the stay very comfortable, and examples are the international hotels, commercial hotels, etc. And secondary or supplementary accommodation units means which offer accommodation but no other additional services. These units provide modest accommodation facilities in an informal settings, like examples are motels, youth hostels, guest houses, etc. And the fourth element or component is the amenities. Amenities means the supporting facilities and services available at the destination during the stay and travel. And it includes the facilities like the money exchange facility, the shopping facilities, the connectivity like the internet facilities, other communication facilities, medical facilities, etc. These different amenities are provided by hotels, travel agencies, banks, internet providers, etc. And the fifth component of tourism is the activities. Activities include the different entertainment and adventurous activities which are provided to the tourists at the destinations. And there are a number of examples for these kind of activities like the paragliding facility, the windsurfing, fishing, indoor and outdoor sports activities. So these are the different types of activities provided at the destination to make the tourist more enjoyable and more satisfied. And the last component of tourism is the agencies. Agencies include both government and non-governmental agencies which are involved in the development and promotion of tourism. When we consider Indian tourism, the Ministry of Tourism is responsible for the development of tourism, and the other supporting organizations are the ITDC, Indian Tourism Development Corporations. And when we consider Kerala tourism, it is the Kerala Tourism Development Corporation, KTDC. And for the promotion of tourism in district wise, we have the DTPCs like District Tourism Promotion Councils. So these are the different organizations are involved in the development and promotion of tourism. And examples for non-governmental agencies include the industry associations like Travel Agents Association of India, the Federation of Hotel and Restaurant Association of India, etc. So these are some examples of agencies. So these are the different 6 components of tourism, which is commonly known as the 6 A's of tourism, and it includes attractions, accommodations, accessibility, amenities, activities, and agencies. The next is the geographical components of tourism. When we consider the geographical components of tourism, the important one are the accessibility and location, which we have already mentioned about the importance of accessibility or transportation facility. Then second one is the space, and third one is the scenery. Scenery means the natural attractions like water, vegetation, landforms, etc. Fourth component is the climate, sunshine. Climate includes the amount of sunshine, temperature conditions, rain, etc. And fifth one is animal life. Animal life means the wildlife resources and also the different activities related to wildlife. And the settlement features like the important metros, towns, cities, villages, historical remains and monuments, archaeological remains, etc. And the last element under the geographical component of tourism is the culture means the our tradition, the ways of life, tradition, folklore, our arts and handicrafts items, etc. So these are the different elements coming under the geographical components of tourism. And the last important point to mention in this session is the elements of tourism. Elements of tourism include the pleasing weather, the scenic attraction, historical and cultural factors, accessibility, amenities, and other elements. And the first element, pleasing weather. Pleasing weather means the weather conditions at a destination, which is actually pulling the tourist into that particular destination. For example, tourists from extreme climatic conditions travel to beaches in search of warm weather and sunshine. The same way, people from extreme hot regions travel to hill stations to experience the cold weather. So, the pleasing weather at the particular area is actually acting as a pulling factor which pulls the tourist to that particular destination. And second one, the scenic attraction. Scenic attractions is actually coming along with the pleasing weather. The attractions, the natural attractions like mountains, lakes, waterfalls, glaciers, forest, etc. are actually attracting the tourist to that particular destination. So scenic attraction is also considered as one of the important element of tourism. And the third one is historical and cultural factors. Culture is the main attracting factor for travel. And when we consider the Indian tourism, it is actually the cultural tourism destinations. We have a number of historical monuments in India like the Ajanta Ellora caves, the Taj Mahal, our Hawa Mahal, the Agra Fort, etc. These are actually attracting a number of foreign tourists to our country. So history and culture always remains as an important factor to attract tourists. And the next element is the accessibility, which already we have mentioned here, the importance of accessibility, and also the amenities. Amenities means the other facilities available at the tourist center, and also other elements. Other elements means the hospitality. Hospitality is a relationship between guest and host, the way in which the host receives the guest, that is the hospitality. At tourism, as tourism is a service industry, the satisfaction of tourists actually depends on how the services are provided. So this actually depends upon the hospitality. And another important element is the information available at the destination, also the trained guides availability, and also the travel formalities needed. All these are coming under the other elements of tourism. So these are the different components coming under the elements of tourism. So thank you. This section will help you to understand the important components of tourism. So these are the 6 A's of tourism. And second is regarding the geographical components of tourism and also the elements of tourism. All these are interconnected, and the most important one commonly used in order to explain the components of tourism is the 6 A's model. So 6 A's model is the important one which explains details, which gives explanations regarding the different components of tourism. Thank you. Stay connected.